All right, this is part of a DNRS video journal. Um, just thoughts that occurred to me that I want to record for myself, and maybe I'll distribute this, that other people might find it helpful. I don't know, I haven't decided that yet, but here we go. Okay, so this process, and I've been doing it 2 weeks with good progress, and I'm on board with it. It is literally a form of physical therapy. One of the obstacles that people run into in terms of even wanting to get into it is they hear the concept of it and interpret that as being, oh, well, it's all in my head. Knowing, of course, that they're sick, and hearing maybe from doctors that it's all in their head and so forth, and this might just be another way of thinking, of hearing it processes as this is in my head, and it is not in my head, so my resistance to it. But recognizing, I would say, the people who are in that position, but this is also an insight for me going through the process, that this is a physical change that DNRS is affecting. It is not sickness that you are experiencing. It is damage to a part of your brain. The limbic system in your brain is damaged. The symptoms that you're experiencing are naturally interpreted as symptoms of sickness, but they're not symptoms of sickness. They're symptoms of the damage to your limbic system within your brain. And when a part of our bodies, which this is injured, we know, my dog knows that what you do is you rest in order to allow the part to heal. Now, this is also, of course, so as I say, this is physical therapy to support and facilitate a physical healing of a part of your body that is damaged and needs to rest in order to recuperate. Now, we know that physical therapy takes time. A long time, very often. If you've ever been through it, you know it takes a long time, and it can be boring and frustrating, and you hope that you're one of the people for whom it works quickly, because maybe you've heard that, but you know that if it doesn't work quickly, that this is still within the parameters of normal. And it doesn't mean it's not working, because you notice progress and you're frustrated because the progress isn't as rapid. You want to be done with it. You want to be better. And so physical therapy can just be difficult to actually do because it's frustrating how long it takes. Now, in the case of DNRS, this form of physical therapy, that frustration, while understandable, is interfering with the healing, because frustration, the emotion of frustration, is deeply bound to chronic illness. If you have been chronically ill, or I should say, if you think you have been chronically ill, when in fact you have had an injury that is being chronically agitated, and so not healing, it's a limbic system injury rather than chronic illness. That frustration, which has been part of your experience of your limbic system injury, what you thought was sickness for so long, that frustration is an integral part of your experience of feeling sick, right? So when that frustration pops up in the process of this form of physical therapy, DNRS, that frustration, unlike if you're trying to, I don't know, heal a tendonitis or something like this, that frustration is an integral part of your experience that therefore connects, again, physically in your brain, connects physically to other aspects of what you had been experiencing as illness. Right? It's all bound together. Your emotional reaction to it, to the other symptoms. And therefore, that flow, that connection can, not necessarily will, can get opened up by that frustration, bringing the old symptoms back. So I guess 2 points. First of all, to recognize that there are experiences that are unrelated to sickness in human life. Frustration. Sleepiness, by the way, is another one for me. Sleepiness. Brain's not waking up yet. I think that can just get my limbic system kind of confused, and that seems like an experience of sickness and so forth, and that can ramp things up. So just to be aware that there are experiences in life that have nothing to do with sickness, like being frustrated, like being sleepy, and so forth, to help your limbic system sort that out. But that's point number one. Point number two is with regard to the frustration specifically. It is, I think, very important, maybe essential, but certainly very important to this process, old-fashioned discipline, by which I mean a control of one's emotions. That frustration is an emotion, it's an emotive reaction, which when we think about the process, right, this physical therapy is going to take a long time, there is progress, that frustration, as understandable as it is counterproductive and therefore irrational. And so this is a moment to exercise to some old school rational control of one's emotions. And that discipline, by the way, has ramifications beyond the healing process through DNRS. And I think this is definitely one of the things that I'm discovering through this process is that there are a lot of implications. They're just, and this is for, I guess, other journal entries, but so many ramifications of what I'm experiencing for other aspects of my life. Positive ramifications for other aspects of my life. So anyway, that's the entry for today.